Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your great support always. I'm so grateful for your continued support to this channel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. As we speak, the Kenya Human Rights Commission, they are now distancing themselves from this past by-election that was conducted by none other than IEBC. They are now claiming the election was not free and fair, an election that can be verified.
Tonight. Now, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNHCR, has condemned what it terms a blatant lack of transparency in the recent by-elections. The Commission says the polls were not free and fair and raises serious questions about the credibility of the results. KNHCR says it documented 3 deaths linked to election-related violence. This comes as Kenya's 2024 Human Rights Performance Report shows the country recorded unprecedented and grave human rights violations, which left 57 people dead. Willie Lusige reports.
Barely hours after IEBC chairperson Erastus Ethekon defended the just concluded by-elections as transparent and accountable, insisting every eligible voter had a fair chance to vote, a new KNHCR report paints a stocky different picture. According to the commission, the by-elections fell short of transparency.
The commission monitored these by-elections and they were kept out of 2 tallying centers, Chicago Primary School in Mbeere North and Mumboni North Ward. They were kept out of those tallying centers, and therefore we cannot make a decision on whether the elections were free and fair because we were denied entry.
First thing, they were blocked not even to access any polling stations. Reason, they don't know. And for them to come and say that the by-election was free and fair, it will not be fair to Kenyans, because what they saw was an election that was not free and fair. After listening to them and the report we are being told, remember, it is just about 1 day. I analyze a video here. When the IEBC chairperson confessed that truly they saw the bribery, they saw violence, they saw chaos, and of course, who are these individuals who sponsored this chaos? It is none other than government of the day.
Attempts by political actors to influence election officials. Tulisema tutatumikia hii country bila uoga, bila mapendeleo. This we witnessed these attempts by political actors to try and infiltrate and to influence our election officials. Now sometimes I wonder what value. Kama umepiga kampeni yako vizuri, unajua wewe kabisa, unajipiga kifua, you are going, you are popular. Why do you want to look to harass our presiding officers and returning officers? You want to secure an illegitimate victory. Then unasema ati you are a leader, and the manner in which you secured your victory is questionable. So there were those attempts, and I will not mince my words. So again, we have to do something about that. That desperation that makes people attempt the impossible. And it's high time political actors learn. Where is the chairman of PPLC? Yes, my friend Misati. Train your people that to steal election in this country is an impossibility. These returning officers here can confirm to you, even observers, honest observers will tell you, the media that witnessed these by-elections, it's impossible. Ukipewa shilingi 1,500 utapata kura wapi ya kuweka kwa box na utawekelea wapi mbele ya all these cameras and eyes? It is an impossibility. So let us get that clear.
Because they were so interested towards those positions. They were not ready to lose the by-election in Mbeere. by-election in Malava, and they were to do what they can. This also applies to other areas where we having free and fair election, where a government was having a candidate. And I can confirm to you that election, or you saw the other time, was not free and fair. And today, if you go and ask them, they will tell you they are not sure. Because look at even what the observers say. Observers said that the election was not, of course, controlled by the IEBC. IEBC was not in control of that by-election. Who is this person who was in control of the by-election? None but the government. Ladies and gentlemen, before you continue, as you always do, ensure you like the video. And like the video, you automatically support the work that I'm doing in this channel. Because sometimes you watch and you forget liking the video. So this is just a reminder. As you watch, please consider liking the video. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when the Kenya Human Rights Commission is declaring the election was not free and fair, hapa tuko na IEBC inasema they saw how violence and chaos, of course, were orchestrated. The bribery to the IEBC officials, of course, was noticed. On this side, observers are saying that this past by-election, IEBC was not in control. Then I can say it without any fear of contradiction. This by-election that was concluded, then the results should be declared null and void. If already these three individuals are confirming things were not good during the by-election, violence, chaos, of course, were orchestrated. That is a statement of IEBC chair. And they witnessed the IEBC officials being bribed. Then you can tell, and you can tell clearly, that the by-election should be declared null and void. When the observers are also saying, and the Human Rights Commission, that they were bad not to even access the polling stations. Someone behind the scene was in control. Then they had no option but, of course, to stay away from the polling stations. I can tell you here, without any fear of contradiction, I see a scenario in 2027 that repeated itself in 2007. We are having a chairperson of IEBC Commission who is like, he doesn't have powers. Who is like, I don't have any option but to leave the government to do what they can do. And that is the scenario that is going to happen again in 2027. Result is going to be announced. The observers will say the election is not free and fair. The observers will say the IEBC is not in control of the election. Then people wataanza kupigana. And that is where IEBC is taking us to. And I can urge the IEBC, if you want to ignite fire in this country, continue playing with fire. Continue playing with fire. When the IEBC was reconstituted, we were promised election free and fair, an election that can be verified. Today still we are speaking about a free and fair election. Yet we have IEBC that should use their minds to control what it takes of them. Watasema tusipofuata zile sheria hao watu walituweka hapa wanatuambia, then we are going to be kicked out. That is what you're being told. You saw the problem with Cherera 4 when they came out saying the truth. The election of 2022 was not free and fair. When William Ruto was sworn in immediately, he kicked them out. And that is what William Ruto is using. He's having his own commissioners in this IEBC. His own commissioners. So for me, I don't think if the IEBC is capable of course, running a free and fair election, an election that can be verified, this IEBC must be interrogated. Because if you're going to leave this IEBC like this, they are like Kenyans are in fear. We are not fearing IEBC. When we decide that the IEBC must go, it will go. If these young people, Gen Zs, ensured the William Ruto's finance bill went down, the cabinet went down, what about IEBC? IEBC inaweza chukua hata 3 days peke yake, IEBC imeenda. Even 1 day, IEBC itakuwa imeenda. But the problem with our country, we are having thugs, political thugs, who are just not comfortable. They are not comfortable with how Kenyans are like, okay, we want to continue being in the governance. We must manipulate the IEBC. Because if you are not going to manipulate the IEBC, then you have no option. We are going to be kicked out with a free and fair election. Because some politicians, they don't believe in a free and fair election. They don't. When the observers are disowning the result, the Kenya Human Rights and other bodies, the IEBC is also complaining. You think the election was free and fair? Election was not free and fair. I can say it with my head high. The election of Mbere must be nullified. The election in Malava must be nullified. And other parts of the Republic of Kenya where election was not free and fair. The problem in our country is that bribery. You are being given 100 bob, you vote for someone whom you don't want. You even don't understand his ideas, agendas. But you're saying, ati mimi mtu mwenye amenipea kitu ndo napigia kura. Ati tumbo inaongea kuliko kichwa. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you're going to suffer. You are going to suffer. Because the criteria you use to elect a leader is not the criteria that is supposed to be used. Tomorrow you will start saying, oh, so and so must go. So and so must go. But you are given money and you ate. Then later you're saying, ati so and so must go. Ni upusi tupu. Ni ile upusi sijawahi ona. Upusi tupu. Upusi tupu. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of your great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Till we meet in another video.